Hi, my name's Belinda Benner-Ordoñez, and I'm an instructional specialist with talent development for St. Lucie Public Schools. And if you've made it here, you've made it to PL On Demand, one of our new learning initiatives that we hope you get to enjoy and colour your learning. We in talent development believe in having access to quality learning that's year-round, not something that's one and done. So if you're a new teacher, you have experienced NTS, and you'll also be attending RISE 1 and 2, where the learning continues from event to event. But we also wanted to provide something along the way which also grows your practice. So with that in mind, PL On Demand, EduChats and Slips Talks provides that opportunity to continue the learning in a sequential way and build upon your current skills. So you may have seen or been in PL On Demand. You may have attended an EduChat, and you may have seen the guest speakers providing you with lots of resources in the Slips Talks. Or you've picked up Educator Vibes, where you've seen lots of teacher tips, tricks, and tickets to try. So if you're an experienced educator, you'll get voice and choice within PL On Demand, and you'll get to select the learning that suits you best. So no matter whether you're a beginning teacher or you're an experienced educator, there is something within PL On Demand that is just right for you. PL On Demand learning modules are comprised of 4 key learning areas, and these are teacher wellness, culture and learning environment, building success in the classroom, and teacher desk, where you can find all things related to what teachers need throughout the year. Every one of these 4 key learning areas can be seen every month, so they become familiar. But within each of these each month, the learning focus, content, and activities shift to tie to the month's theme. So I'm going to show you how to navigate PL On Demand so it makes things easier from month to month to understand how the modules are set up and how to access all the learning. So you can see this is the home page, and on the home page we start with our grounding theory for our PL On Demand modules and our Slips Talks and our EduChats, and we ground all of our work in the theory of positivity from Dr. Seligman, and he stresses positive psychology and the role of positivity, engagement, relationships, meaning, accomplishment, and health, and how important all these attributes are to individual flourishing. So I hope that as you work your way through, you'll see how we've embedded all of these attributes within the learning to make it more relevant and meaningful. So just to continue to scroll down so you understand what's on our homepage, it gives you a brief overview of what these micro-learning modules are all about. As you can see, we have 4 key learning areas every single month, and they are teacher wellness, culture and learning environment, building success in the classroom, and teacher desk. So they will look the same, except inside all of the content, the learning, and the action tasks are relevant to the particular month's theme in which you're working. So they'll begin to become familiar because you'll see those buttons every month, but inside of them, they are definitely tied to the month's learning theme. So as you continue to scroll down, it's a little bit more about how we recommend in talent development that if you're a new teacher, you follow the sequence. So starting in August, September and working your way through, because these are timely and relevant to different stages of the year that you'll find within your working environment. So we do recommend a learning pathway for new teachers, but if you're an experienced teacher, feel free to use your voice and choice to pick what's relevant to you and the learning that suits you best. So with that in mind, just to continue further down on the home page, you can see a bit of an introductory video. We also have thinking maps as well as classroom management. Both of these tiles allows you to click on them and it will take you to a range of different activities and learning around these categories. So with thinking maps, we introduced these last year, and these are designed for you to work with your students. So as you're integrating these into your lessons, the maps that you do with your students, these will become your artifacts that you'll submit, for your points. The only caveat with our thinking maps courses is that you have had to have taken Thinking Maps Basic Training 101, either at RISE 1 and 2 or at your school site for you to be able to do these maps. So you have to have had that foundational training before you can get points for them. As I mentioned, the classroom management activities and learning, there's a whole range of things in there as well. If you like anything that's related to managing your classroom and supporting students in their success in your day-to-day lessons. So this is another, both of these are another option within PL On Demand to sort of extend that learning. So as we move down, this is where you can see all the tiles for each of our monthly themes. So you can see for August, September, our theme for that month is setting a solid foundation. And then October, we have creating a optimal learning environment. November is Remember in November, giving thanks. December's learning is tucked around the theme Survive and Thrive, Educator Resilience. January's is Renew and Reset. February, Navigating Crunch Time, that busy time of year. March Madness and Managing Testing Season. April is Staying the Course. And then our last theme of the year is I'm a Teacher, What's Your Superpower? And that's always a fun module because we get to celebrate you and your success throughout the year. And then if we continue scrolling on the homepage, we also now have included our Slips Talks tile, where you can click on that and it will take you out to all the learning within the Slips Talks. These are pre-recorded from our EduChat sessions, the Slips Talk component. And these are the folks who were unable to attend the live monthly sessions. We wanted to be able to bring that learning out to all those who couldn't attend. So these are already recorded, and there's an action task that goes with them so that you can get professional learning points. So we'll go on a deeper dive of all these things in just a little bit. And then finally on the homepage, we always stress the importance of our technology and how within blended learning we can create really engaging lessons for our students. So please have a listen to the podcast. Check out the Tech Notebook for yourself and for your students. So we hope that you explore all these resources and tools as well as incorporate them with your students in the classroom. So, okay, let's go back up and let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into one of the themes today. So let's have a look at setting a solid foundation. So if I'm interested in how might I do that if I'm getting started this year, what sort of learning could I have around setting a solid foundation? You're going to click on that tile and it's going to take you to the menu for that particular theme. And every month looks the same. So you'll find when you get to that particular theme, it'll give you an overview, what the 4 PDs are about, the micro learning is about, how to get the badge if you are doing that that module or those modules, and then how to track your learning so we can be awarding points and celebrating you on our learning leader wall and things like that. So it gives you that same overview every single time. And then it also brings up the menu into those 4 key learning areas that I mentioned previously, as well as tracking your points. As well as tracking your points. So every month will look the same with this same menu, but as I mentioned, it's going to have different content and tasks each time related to that monthly theme. So let's have a look at the teacher wellness for setting a solid foundation. So I'm going to click on that tile and it's going to take me to the learning, this micro learning module just on teacher wellness for that particular month. So these are all using SMORE, and I'm sure you've probably used SMORE before, but we are using SMORE here to highlight the micro learning modules, and then also you'll get to see each one is organised around an introductory tile. So when you get in there, we encourage you to read it to see what it's about. In this particular one, it tells you you're going to be completing a Edumindful MySpace. And so this one actually uses Padlet. So you're going to get a bit of an overview of what the task is about. And then you're going to get into the why, like why is it important to set a solid foundation for teacher wellness? So each module will have the same sort of organisation, that introductory tile telling you about the task. It'll explain the why. Then it will go into how do we actually go about doing that? How do we set up a plan for success for teacher wellness for the year? And then within each module, it has a variety of different resources. So in this case, it has 2 different readings, and then it also has a video, and these can be sometimes TED Talks or TEDx's, and some sort of, a video that's helpful to support that particular learning for the month. And then we also have an action task example. So what we ask you to produce for this module, we always show what that should look like, what the end product should look like. And in this case, sort of, you can see it gives you an idea of what your Padlet's going to look like after you make it your Edumindful MySpace. And then some modules will have it gets into the granular level of how to actually create it. So let's say you haven't used Padlet before, you're new to sort of using Padlet. Some of the videos inside these modules will break it down step by step of how to actually access Padlet and learn how to use it. With this particular one, because it's the beginning of the modules for teacher wellness, I've also included the monthly tracker, so the mindfulness tracker. So if you have this tracker, you can print it out and you can use it from month to month, and you can also, account for all the activities that you do that account for wellness. So Mark Dionisio is a great resource at the district office. He is all things wellness, and he has said that every teacher wellness module that you take within PL On Demand gets you points, along with a range of other things. And if you check out his wellness newsletter each week, he gives you a variety of other things that you can do, but the wellness modules happen to be one of those things that count for points, which in turn equates to dollars in your bank account. So you've got the tracker there, you can print it out. So every time that you do a wellness module, you can mark it off and get credit for taking that learning. And you can access the tracker there, right there in your actual SMORE. All right, it also gives you a bit on how to track your learning, what to do, and you saw that button earlier, how to track your points. So you'll get feedback from your course designer. You'll also, they'll give you some feedback. After you've submitted your artifact, they'll give you some feedback, and then we will base points and badges of how many modules that you take during the month, and you probably will get on our wall of fame, our leaderboard, because we like to make our learning visible in St. Lucie Public Schools. And so we want to celebrate you from month to month. As you learn, we want to celebrate you. So, and that's also, you can see all of our leaders here in the course, and I'll show you that in a little bit as well. And then there's a button on each module to sign up for EduChats. That gets you into our calendar of invites for the year, for every month that we have an EduChat, so you'll never miss one. So feel free to click on it. It takes you to a survey. It's really quick, and we'll get you squared away so that you can come and explore and get to listen to all of our experts, our teacher experts across the district, who share really great things with us, from topics as broad as deliberate practice to engagement, and intentional instructions. So there's a lot of things. And so, yeah, in a nutshell, every single module will be just like the one that you just saw. So it's organized in the same way. So once we get back to the home page and scroll down, it takes us to a tile which is entitled Slips Talks. And these are the talks that the recorded parts of our EduChats. And so if you can't attend an EduChat, and we know we've got many busy professionals that can't always come on a Thursday night once a month, so we wanted to find a way to take that learning from our Slips Talks and bring it to you. So we've put it in PL on demand, so for those people who can't attend, they have another way to access that learning. So once you see that tile, you're going to click on the tile, and it's going to take you to an overview of what our Slips Talks are. And these are just some images of some of our talks that we've had already. So just some informational things and a link to the survey. If you haven't signed up yet, it's always there as an access point. And then we get into the actual menu itself. So on our menu, we have, again, elements of what are EduChats, what are Slips Talks, and then each of the monthly module themes are there as well, which tie to all of the other micro PDs, where you'll be able to click on these and access the recording. So if you want to know, for example, what we talked about at that Slips Talk, there's an actual overview of that content. If you scroll down, so within the setting a solid foundation month, we had Bridget Hagedine, and she was talking all things DPP, deliberate practice. You can see for December, Survive and Thrive, Educator Resilience. Our Slips Talks, we had Christina Coppola, and she was talking everything resilience for teachers. And other things like staying the course in April we were talking engagement. It was that time of the year, trying to keep students engaged towards the end. And so we had Laurie Boyer providing some really, really wonderful strategies and tips and tricks and websites for us to explore to help keep our students motivated at that end of the year phase. So this gives you a brief overview, and as we continue with our Slips Talks, I'll keep adding to this menu so you can see at a glance who is speaking. So for example, let's go into staying the course, which was April's learning module. And so what you'll see when you click that tile is the video. When it loads, you'll see the video, and so you'll see the video, and you'll get to listen to our expert presenter talking, in this case, all things engagement. And then if you go to the next page, this is where you'll do your reflection. And on the reflection, we've tried to give you voice and choice as well with the types of questions you can choose to answer. So there are several. If you scroll down, you can see you could answer any one of those questions. So what is the most important takeaway? And I've added an example in there of what that might look like. I've added a resource from Laurie's presentation, and I've done my reflection around that question. But you might want to choose to answer, what might I do differently? How will this learning impact students? How did the learning change my thinking, etc.? So you get to pick which of these you'd like to answer, and that will become your reflection so that you can get your points for watching a Slips Talk. So to go back to our modules page, again, I did mention earlier that we celebrate our learning leaders from month to month. So we try to keep track as you finish your micro learning modules. We go in and we update this, and so you can see, who across the has been making their learning visible. And we celebrate you. So we see you, we celebrate you, and we're super excited that you have selected PL On Demand to expand your learning for the year. So we're going to be on the lookout for who our next learning leaders are going to be. So the very last thing you'd want to do after you've taken one module or more than one module is to log and track your learning. And that's the way that we'll be able to know that your module is completed, and we can start to celebrate you from month to month and start to award badges for your learning. So if you're in that monthly theme, and you might have done the one module or more, you're going to track your PL points. So you're going to click on that tile, and that's going to take you to the simple form Once you get to the form, it's really simple. So whether it's, you've watched the slips talk and you've responded, to one of the questions, or you've taken one or more micro-learning modules, you'd come to this form and you would fill it out. So the important part of this is, though, you need to have waited till your course creator designer has given you the check off for your artifact to make sure that it's done completely. So you would wait for that there and you would come in and fill in this form. So you'd hit yes, and then you'd tell us how the learning was relevant. You would fill that in. You give it a rating of that particular module on the learning that you've gained from completing it. And then on this particular section, in which module, you just select which module it was that you took. So for example, I took the Culture and Learning Environment one for September. And again, if you went in and you actually took 2 that month, you could actually select both modules that you actually had completed. And then it's a simple matter of scrolling down, hitting next. And then it's just some demographic data of the school, what grade you teach, your years of experience, if you would like further support, any feedback, and then you just submit it. And it's as simple as that. And we use this form, like I said, to celebrate you and make sure that we get those badges your way. So having said that, I want to thank you for your time. I hope this has been helpful in giving you a little bit more information on how to navigate PL on demand, and it's given you a little bit of a taste of what's inside and how we have really tried to make that learning it's based on your context throughout the year, tied to those monthly themes. We try to celebrate and we really truly live Dr. Seligman's flourishing theory, the positive psychology theory, to support teachers throughout the district. So on that note, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Well, I hope you've enjoyed getting to learn a little bit more about what PL On Demand offers and some of the learning that's contained within. So whether it's a micro-learning module and you're thinking about trying to be intentional with your instruction and it's during testing time, or whether it's the end of the year and testing is over and you're looking for engagement strategies to help students and grow their own learning, or you just may want to take every single teacher wellness module and set up a teacher wellness plan for you for the entire year. Or whether you want to listen to a SLIPS talk and get some expert advice from St. Lucie County teachers and other professionals, there's something in here for everybody. So whether you are an experienced teacher or a new teacher, we hope that you can find learning that's relevant for you. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always available and I would love to help you colour your learning.